In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to another very thankful edition of the C3 Friday Free-For-All, the show for the fans, by the fans, where you can come and be a part of the show and let us know what you think about these Carolina Panthers, about our coaching staff, about these players, about the fans. This is your day, man. Come and be a part of the show. The link to join the show is in the description of the YouTube video, of the Facebook video. Today, I am being joined by some longtime friends, some guys who are some staples of the Friday Free-For-All. One of them, I'm going to go ahead and get him out the way like my Tigers are about to do tomorrow. He's a fan of an inferior football team, but it's all right. You know, we let him. Kevin Boshoven, what's up, man?
Not much, man. Just sitting here drinking some Snoop Dogg red wine.
Oh, shit.
And go Gamecocks.
You had me to the very end. My man, Kenneth, Panther Pickle with a brand new webcam. What's going on, bro?
Just waiting to see how Dennis Daly performs at left tackles. He should.
Oh, boy. Oh boy!
He one of Matt Rule's boys now, folks.
Oh, apparently this is his favorite. That's his favorite player on the whole football team.
He's right up there with the rest of them.
yeah, right up there with Cam Newton, Christian McCaffrey, and Cam Irving. Yeah. Then joining us all the way from Maine, this is my man Drew. Drew, what's going on, brother?
Nothing much. What's going on, guys? Ready for another great Friday free-for-all.
Dude, I'm pumped. Once again, if you would like to join the show, the link is in the description of the YouTube video and the Facebook video, and I'll post it here in the chat room for people to join. But, guys, without further ado, let's just jump into this. The Carolina Panthers this Sunday are going to be playing the Miami Dolphins, and there's no point in burying the lead, man. Let's just talk about the news that everyone is speaking about. Kenneth already alluded to it. Matt Rule once again confirms that Dennis Daly will be starting at left tackle over Brady Christensen. And this is just, it's so infuriating, man. And I need everyone to help me work through this. Is Matt Rule just inept? Did Brady Christensen do something to, tarnish his family name forever? I don't understand here. Brady Christensen was our highest ranked offensive lineman last week, played the best football that he ever has. Dennis Daly has not completed a game at left tackle this year without being injured and having Brady Christensen come in anyway. Help me make sense of this. Why does Matt Rule refuse to play Brady Christensen at left tackle?
Well, Dennis Daly's a Gamecock, so I guess Matt Rule's a Gamecock fan. I just want to see.
I knew I didn't like that dude. I knew it.
Because if he plays Brady Christensen at left tackle and Brady Christensen turns out to be the left tackle that we all think he can be, then it just proves Matt Rule is stupid.
I agree to that. Matt Rule is stupid.
Yeah.
He just did.
His whole philosophy of, his arms are too short, he doesn't meet this criteria, it's full of crap and goes flying out of the window at that point.
That's a fact. Let's look back. Matt Rule said the best left tackle in the draft, the best offensive lineman he wanted in the draft, went right before we got our pick. And the Lions still don't know what they're doing with him. So, the best left tackle so far in this draft. Now let's take a step. The best tackle, right or left, so far in this draft plays for the Chargers.
Rashawn Slater.
And Matt Rule said he wasn't a left tackle. Matt Rule said he couldn't be a left tackle.
I can honestly say he's the best player in the draft.
And
One
I mean,
of for sure.
so
Yeah.
let's.
Hey, Matt Rule said he couldn't be a left tackle. Ask Myles Garrett if he can play left tackle.
Right.
Exactly. And you got, I mean, and this is the guy that so far, this is the guy that's going to rebuild the the offensive line this offseason.
Wasn't he
Same
like an
folks that
offensive line
said,
expert coming in?
I mean, the same person that said Cam Irving's going to be the guy that said,
Yeah.
I mean, you can just name the list of players that he said was going to be in that offensive line, and well, they ain't. But don't worry, we're going to give him another shot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out what reason could possibly let Matt Rule. And by the way, if you've been all over Twitter, if you've listened to any of our beat reporters, this is a unanimously unpopular decision. No one agrees with this. So why is it that the Panther fan base, Panther reporters, we can all see what's in front of our faces, but yet our head coach can't? Like,
You know what?
even if you wanted to say, okay, it would reflect bad on him if Brady Christensen played well. Well, no, it doesn't, because it means that you're starting the guy who's better. So even if you should have done it sooner, at least you did it at some point, especially now when you have Cam Newton back, and we have been searching for that left tackle of the Carolina Panthers ever since Jordan Gross left the football team. You've had a literal revolving door, and now you're going to choose to start the player who literally can't stay healthy at that position. I do not understand this for the life of me. And then D. Perkins,
boo him, and then once he put the fourth down call.
Yeah, D. Perkins says Daly has more experience.
Experience means nothing. Rashard Slater proved that. Rashard Slater is a rookie, and he's dominating premier defensive ends in this league. Not only is he dominating, but doing it one-on-one dominating.
Yes. And why would you not give Brady Christensen a chance to do the same thing? He stepped up against the Washington football team and looked damn good. Now, people want to say, oh, Chase Young was out, Montez Sweat was out. And hey, fine, you may have a point, but it's not like the Miami Dolphins have some all-star edge rusher that you have to worry about. Also, you have to play the man in front of you. You have no say-so over who's starting ahead of you. You have to win the reps that you're given. And he did that. PFF ranked him as one of their better left tackles in all of football last Sunday. And the coaches are like, nah. And so this is another thing. Is it just a Matt Rule decision? Or do you think that more than one coach is in on this decision?
I think it's a Rule decision.
I just my opinion. I have to question the offensive line coach. I have to question the offensive line coach, because so far since he's come here, we've had nothing. Absolutely nothing. I went back to look that up. We lost Travell Wharton as an offensive line coach.
Yeah.
And now this is who we got. And we actually had a change this past offseason in our offensive line coach. And we've got some new guy. And he's just a failure. He's been a failure wherever he's been. I'm gonna look him up, but
look him up. It also goes back to, like, man, I wish I had a fly on the wall with a camera that could, like, let us in on some of these conversations that our coaches are having. But it makes zero sense to me. I mean, I would like to see someone step up, be it Joe Brady or Sean Ryan, the quarterback coach, or whoever it is, step up and say something. Like, I'm sorry, but I have a hard time believing that Dennis Daly in practice is just so much better than Brady Christensen and so much better prepared. Yeah, for sure. It's not on game tape. And then again, to beat a dead horse here, Dennis Daly, every time he starts at left tackle, He never finishes the game. He gets injured and goes out.
Be playing soon enough.
Yeah, but like you're only delaying the inevitable. It's gonna happen anyway, and yet you're still kicking this can down the road. It just makes it makes no sense, man, and it's so annoying.
Cody, look at it this way. At least it's Dennis Daly, because I mean, honestly, if Sam Darnold hadn't got hurt, he'd still be rolling Sam Darnold back out there at quarterback and telling us, "Oh, Sam Darnold's still great. He's still great. He can get the job done."
And I've really tried my best to, hold off on being anti Matt Rule or being fire Matt Rule. But dude, I'll be damned. I've seen nothing that makes me want him to be our head coach next year.
No,
I mean, really, like what does he bring to the table? What has Matt Rule done to win us a football game? I mean, really, like it all seems like it's our players stepping up to make big time plays, or you have a guy on offense like Cam Newton or Christian McCaffrey stepping up and doing the thing. But like, there's never been a scenario where I felt like Matt Rule put us in the best position to win the football game. I haven't felt that yet, and I don't think I will.
He can't manage the clock at all.
Nope.
He second guesses himself in the most crucial situations. I mean, if you're going to go for it on 4th and 2, you should have had that play ready to go on 3rd down.
You're exactly right.
Okay, 3rd down, if we don't make this, we're going for it, and this is the play we're running.
Yep.
There should have been no need to call a timeout, because now you give him Ron Rivera time to go and say, okay, well, they took a timeout. That means they're probably going to do this, so we need to make sure this is all covered up and everything. That should have been, okay, 3rd down, we're going to 4th down, we got the play, get to the line of scrimmage, and let's run it. Make Washington call a timeout.
Right.
Yeah. By the way, D. Perkins is in the chat. He says, Brady needs more time. Well, okay, he needs more time, or he needs more.
He's not a roaster.
Yeah, but also,
more time? You waiting for the button to pop out on him or something?
So what's
does he need more? My thing is this: does he need more reps, or does he need more time? And I think that's what you were about to say, Ken. It's like, is he going to learn more about playing left tackle on the bench, being a backup, or actually playing left tackle in the NFL? Because I think it's probably playing left tackle in the NFL.
Right. What's he going to learn sitting on the bench that he ain't going to learn out there?
Exactly.
I mean,
and again, situationally, when you look at our schedule, it isn't like we have a bunch of real dominant edge rushers.
No.
Especially in these couple games.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And a few weeks ago, he played left tackle. He got beat a couple times. He had some issues. Then he had to go in last 2 weeks or spot duty. And last week he looked really good. That means he's learning as he goes. Right now he's at the development in his career that the only experience he needs is on the field experience. To prevent him from getting that is hurting his career.
Just think where he would be at now if we had started him week 1.
Exactly. I know, Drew. That's exactly what I said. We had a perfect start to our schedule where all the rookies on the roster could have gotten meaningful snaps against decent but not great competition and gotten those reps under their belt that could have been learning on the fly. More importantly, going forward, we play Miami, Atlanta, and Buffalo. None of them have an edge rusher of note coming off of the edge that is a nightmare. So, for example, it's not like he's going to be playing Chase Young or Myles Garrett or T.J. Watt or something like that. That's not. Yeah, that's not who he's having to go up against. So, on top of he's a younger player, you want to know what you have at your left tackle position because you want to know: do I need to draft one next year? Do I need to bring another one in free agency? Why are you not giving him his audition right now? I have no idea, man. And
what was the point of drafting him?
If they believe that he's not a real left tackle, I think that's a moron decision. But if they believe he's not a left tackle, okay, then put him at guard. Then put him at guard and put Trent Daly over there on left tackle. Start him at guard, but they don't want to do that either. So they are like some people when they get on play Madden for the first time. They're going to move all these people around, but they ain't got no idea what they're doing.
No. Do we have? Let me ask you this: does Matt Rule know what he's doing at all, or is he just guessing? Is he just a college coach playing at the NFL? Because right now, I feel like it kind of feels that way.
Yes, I don't mind him getting experience, but I'm tired of it being with the Panthers. Let him go back. Let him go to the Giants to get experience. Can we trade him this offseason? I think that'd be a good idea.
Either that or some college team swoops in and decides to pay him more money. Yeah, USC. And apparently, that's a bad job to take now. No one wants to be the coach of USC.
He likes to rebuild.
Yeah.
Dante Brown's still on injured reserve.
Yeah, Dante Brown's on injured reserve. And then listen, if Cam Irving was still available, he'd probably be playing him there.
Yeah,
at left tackle.
Exactly right.
And I've said this before, but the fact that we're still dealing with this in a post Ron Rivera era, it's so annoying to me, man. That's one of the reasons why we wanted Ron Rivera out the door. Because he would never play the younger players.
You with the entire, if you add up all Matt Rule's mistakes, I don't believe I've seen a coach screw up this much since George Steiford. I don't think Fox screwed up this much, or Ron Rivera for that matter.
Nah, John Fox screwed up a lot towards the end.
But not in the collection of everything. I mean, John Fox had his courts. He did.
In the beginning,
he wouldn't play somebody for forever. He just wouldn't. We had a running back. What's his name? Eric Shelton. Every time he got on the field, he looked all right. But old John Fox would not play him at all.
He played Jake Malone when he was done.
By the way, I dropped the link to the Streamyard in the chat room. If anybody wants to come in and be a part of this conversation, more than just in the chat room, you can come on the show yourself and speak with the boys here.
Also, think about our first-year head coaches and how well they done, like the first 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
Like,
their
existence, we went to the NFC, championship.
Yeah, I like the. It's always in the NFL. It's always been the precedent that a defensive coordinator is a better organizer. A defensive-minded guy per coordinator is a better organizer. I've heard that for a long time. And looking back, the Panthers had John Fox, first-year head coach, came here. He I think he was an interim head coach or something at one time. But
he was with the Giants.
Yeah, but then he came here and did good. He did good. Then there was just a time it was for him to leave. It just was. I'm not going to go on the details on all that one, but then we know Ron Rivera. He was good for a good while, and then the new owner comes in, and anyway, so then it went all bye-bye.
John Fox's downfall was Jake Delhomme, and still believing he was a quarterback.
Yeah, Steve Smith did great. He really did carry. He carried the offense. Him and Jake Delhomme carried the offense.
I mean, when they had D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart, I mean, all they really need was just a quarterback.
Yep.
Not even.
But again, like you're moving a lot of very important decisions to later on down the road. So, for example, are you going into next year wondering whether or not you need a left tackle? Like, how do we know that Brady Christensen is going to get a chance next year?
Exactly.
I mean, now you have to wait a whole nother season just to evaluate the talent that you have on your own football team.
Will we draft a left tackle? I mean,
that's the thing. You might need to. So if you put in Brady Christensen right now, and he continues to struggle, well then okay, now you know. Yeah. Now you know that you're gonna need someone better at that position, or you're going to have to evaluate whether or not you think that they can grow and learn and get better. But now you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to do that. And it's very frustrating, man, because especially when Cam Newton is back healthy, a lot of us believe that he has the potential to play his best football that he's yet to play. Dude, give the young man a chance. I mean, literally, what does Dennis Daly do for us that Brady Christensen can't or won't? I don't know. I mean,
maybe it's a playbook thing. I'm thinking,
right?
Like maybe Christensen don't have the playbook now.
What gets me about drafting a left tackle? I'm all for that, but I'm not certain Matt Rule or our offensive coaching staff knows a good left tackle when they see it. I'm really not certain they do.
Yeah. No, and I don't think they know good quarterbacks when they see it. So, I mean, listen, I think Cam Newton was the David Tepper decision.
100%.
I really do, because so now, and I can play some clips if you wanted. Matt Rule sings the praises of Cam Newton now and how he embodies the hard work role. He is the brand. He is what the Panthers believe in and what he wants the Panthers mindset and mentality to be. But when you look at his first press conference, Matt Rule seemed upset. He seemed upset. I genuinely believe he was ready to go forward with PJ Walker and Matt Barkley to go forward the rest of this year. And I don't think he would have done it unless David Tepper made him do it. I don't know that for sure.
I think it might have been just a media thing. Like, he just doesn't want to talk to the media. So we're just like, all right, come on, let's fucking answer.
I really think Matt Rule is a stubborn old goat and was set in his ways enough where, he didn't want to make any changes to the football team the way it was. But now that he's been forced to do so, I think he really enjoys having Cam Newton as a part of his offense. Man, I hate having a scenario where your head coach needs to be checked on personnel decisions. That's just a bad look. I wanted to move forward and talk about the defense. The defense did not have a good performance against the Washington football team.
At all.
What kind of performance are you expecting? And can the Panthers have a bounce back game against Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins?
I expect total destruction for next week. I think they kind of let up because they thought, all right, we have a quarterback now. We don't have to go 150 miles per hour on each play. We can actually take our breath, take some time, but then,
Yep. And real quick, let's welcome Justin to the stream. What's up, Justin?
What's good? What's good?
What's good? Chilling, bro. Hey, real quick, before we continue to talk about this defense, give me your take on Matt Rule not wanting to play Brady Christensen at left tackle. Do you agree or disagree with this position?
I completely. So I disagree with it. I said it in the chat. To Daly's defense, his one negative, in my opinion, has been the fact that he hasn't been able to remain healthy since they drafted him. Because in his rookie season, he actually performed well at the left tackle position. That's what he played in college. But seeing as a few opportunities they put Christensen in at left tackle, he's not been a issue. Like, I would say at the very worst he was okay. And that gives me hope that he can get better. So you drafted this kid who played left tackle all throughout college prior to the season starting. You spoke about how his future was at right tackle, which made absolutely no sense. I feel like it's a situation where the coach is trying to Coach Rule is trying to outthink the simplest things. Like, let him be. Because I think Daly wouldn't be a terrible backup left guard, left tackle type guy. But get the young dudes in and see what you have out of them. Because with the way Eflin's held down the center position, that could have solved the center issue right there. You throw Christensen out there and he holds down the left tackle position along with Michael Jordan at the left guard position. The only real question you will have on the O-line is who we're going to put at right guard, which there's still hope that Deontay Brown could come in and hold that down. So
at some point,
we genuinely could have fixed the O-line already, but the coaches seem to – I don't think it's just purely Rule's decision. Like the offensive coaching staff as a whole, like they it's like they're shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, but that's something that I mentioned earlier. Is there no one in that Panthers coaching staff that has the balls enough to step up and say, "Hey, man, let's give the young guy a shot"? Or is Matt Rule just so dead set and stubborn on? No, we're gonna play daily until Brady either gets more or more experience or better knowledge with the playbook, or until his arms magically grow an extra inch or two. Like, I don't understand why no one will stick up for Brady Christensen. And to your point, Justin, imagine knowing that we had our left tackle of the future and our right guard of the future on the roster right now. Imagine knowing that right now instead of having to put that decision off until next year to get these guys meaningful playing time.
Well, after this game, Cam's gonna say something because he's gonna notice the difference.
Yep. And to answer the question of having a coach that'll push back on Rule's decision making, I think the only coach on that staff that's willing to do that is the defensive coordinator in Phil Snow, because Snow clearly has had absolutely no issue with throwing rookies out into the fire and seeing how they do. So maybe,
in honesty, we really don't know that. There may be a coach back here doing that, but they're not going to come out on social media and say that.
No.
And if Matt just overrides him, then
How much is this on the offensive line coach? Like, does he say who's better, who's doing better, who they think they can start, and stuff like that?
Nobody's going to push back on Matt Rule, but so far, because nobody's got a 7-year deal but Matt Rule.
Exactly.
Everybody else is replaceable.
That's very true.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, and look, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm speaking from a position of just not knowing what I'm talking about. But if I'm a coach and I'm around these guys every day, and I see a guy who I think is ready to step up and be a meaningful contributor to the football team, listen, even if I take my lumps, even if I look foolish, even if I get told off by the head coach, I'm pounding the table. I'm saying, hey, coach, listen, trust me. This guy is ready to go. He's ready to step up and do this. And what's even more frustrating is I believe that last week's performance against the Washington football team demonstrated his ability to do this. Brady Christensen already played well at left tackle this year, arguably better than anyone else has played this year at that position. And still, it's not enough for him.
But see, Cody, and I'm not sure if you guys actually talked about this while I was gone for a few minutes, but did anybody catch Matt Rule in his news conference that said that Dennis Daly was starting at left, Trent Scott was starting at right, and Brady Christensen would be available for either position?
Yeah. He'd be both.
I did pick up on
I'm like, he is going to fight tooth and nail to keep from making him a left tackle.
Yeah.
He likes his quote unquote positional flexibility. So he's ruining this kid's career instead of putting him at left tackle. So you're a left tackle. That's what you're going to concentrate on. That's what you're here for. He's got him flip-flopping back and forth between tackle and guard, and the guy can't get comfortable anywhere.
Yeah.
And you know
what? To train anybody, any workforce ever.
And you know what the double-edged sword is? It's like, dude, I want the Panthers to win every game going forward. I want to go 11-6. I want us to be a playoff team. I like every fan, I wanted the Panthers to win a Super Bowl. But the bad part about it is like if the Panthers do well it also means that we have to continue to put up with the same kind of bullshit from Matt Rule. And it was, it's like we have to hope that all of his worst tendencies somehow fall away from him and go by the wayside. And
you sound like me with Will Munchamp.
Yeah,
when he beat Georgia, I was so pissed. Like, damn it, they're going to keep him around.
You gotta push for him to do well, because if they don't, he's going to turn around and blame this on Cam. Well, there's no reason to bring Cam back, because Cam couldn't get us over the hump.
But the thing is if Cam plays well, anybody with eyes will be able to say that. Like this past Sunday,
he don't even have to play well.
But look, anybody with eyes saw that Cam was hurt and he needed time to recover, and they didn't even give him the time to do that. So I don't get anything past this coaching staff or front office to throw Cam Newton up under the bus. Say, look, we brought him back. We tried. He couldn't get us over the hump. We're moving on. We're going to draft the quarterback, or we're going to go after Aaron Rodgers or somebody stupid in free agency and really screw stuff up.
Cam's going to come back either way. I think he's either going to get a 1-year deal or a 3-year deal.
Cam Newton's not coming back on a 1-year deal.
There's nobody else out there.
Cam Newton is not coming back on a 1-year deal. He did this because it was time. He needed to get in there. Cam Newton is not coming back on less than a 2-year deal.
They give him a deal like they gave Teddy.
They wanted to give him a multi-year deal.
Yeah,
they wanted it, and Cam wanted it. They just couldn't reach the numbers, right?
Yeah, well, Cam wanted a 3-year deal. They wanted to give him a 2-year deal.
I mean, literally, the contract
I believe
the contract that we gave to Teddy Bridgewater would have been perfect for Cam.
Perfect. Yes.
Perfect for Cam.
You don't know what he has left. He's been injured the last couple of years. Let's go ahead and extend you for a little bit. You play well, that opens up an opportunity for us to go back and renegotiate. Yeah. That was some dumb shit on the front office, and whoever pulled the trigger on letting that man go, because I love that meme where it has Cam's face on Thanos' body. Like, you could deal with your failures and all of that jazz. Every decision you made led right back. Ace Boogie back in the building and playing like he never lost it.
Yeah, man. And I think that's also what makes this show frustrating, is all of us, Cam Newton fans that have, watched Cam since his first snap in 2011, and some people even longer. It's that he has never had the benefit of a dominant offensive line in front of him.
Except for the first year.
Yeah, and to know that we could potentially have the makings of one, and that our coach is the one that's preventing it from happening. Dude, that's pretty depressing, man. I
like to think that Cam, if that line does not play very well, Cam will go to the coach and be like, "Hey, I was better protected when so and so was right there and so and so was doing it." And hopefully they listen to him. Like the way Rule gushes over Cam and shit, I would hope that he's like, all right, you got a valid point.
I saw a comment in the chat, something about signing DJ Moore to a multi-year deal. I'm just going to comment on this, y'all. If I'm DJ Moore, I ain't signing another year with Carolina. I'm just going to say, listen, I like it here. I like the quarterback right now. But you know what? Y'all going to have to prove to me you serious about winning. I want a permanent quarterback here. I want a good offensive line. That's what I want.
I think that
until you and a stable offensive coordinator that knows what he's doing.
I get all these. I ain't signing another year with Carolina. Has DJ played with a quarterback for 2 years straight?
No.
No, he has. He played with a hurt Cam and then Kyle Allen.
He's like Keyshawn Johnson.
The closest he's come to playing with the same quarterback is he played for Cam at the beginning of his career, and he's currently playing with Cam. That's
but you know what, though? It's even then, it's like two different versions of Cam Newton.
Right, exactly.
Because one of those Cam Newtons was hobbled, injured, couldn't make the throws. That was a shell of Cam Newton. So, yeah, and then look, something else that we have to, I think, kind of talk about too, is that the guys that we have expected to step up and be those dominant presences on the football team. I still don't think we have really seen that from yet. And that being DJ Moore and Brian Burns. Now, I'm a fan of these two dudes. I love what they bring to the football field. But at this point, like, I'm not breaking the bank open for either of them.
I don't think that's their personality.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was going to say. I just don't think they're vocal. They like to show what they play. They're not vocal guys.
They're just
but
like Marvin Harrison.
If y'all remember Steve Smith way back in the younger days.
You
take that Steve Smith and put him on this roster,
Steve
he's
Smith
going to be suspended.
He's all hard. He brings the energy.
Steve Smith beat up one of his teammates in practice. I still remember that.
Kenny Lucas.
Picked him up, body slammed him, and they had to pull him off him because he was beating his ass.
He broke his eye socket, I think.
Yeah.
If anything, I would say Robbie and CMC on offense are more like Steve Smith, because I don't. If anything, I would say CMC has that dog in him. Like, way he plays, I don't know if he does a whole lot of talking, but CMC is that dude. Like, I'm happy he's healthy and he's back, because I genuinely have forgotten how dominant and how talented he was.
Yeah.
Kind of in that ballpark, and let's see if we can move on from him this year. And I apologize for that stupidity running through my head. But he that dude. I think Robbie got that dog in him too. I mean, I think all of them have it. Just like I said, DJ, you could tell by the way DJ's personality is, and he ain't the type of dude to be in somebody's face.
No, he ain't.
But that's unfair to judge them off of.
Has a demonstrative attitude. That's why they got rid of him when Gettleman wanted to get rid of him, because he said Cam could never be the leader with Steve Smith on the roster.
Steve Smith was all energy. Like, I've never seen a receiver with that much energy and like anger.
The thing that made me such a huge fan of Steve Smith was, and my dad was the one that coined the phrase. He's like, Steve Smith was my dad's favorite wide receiver. He said Steve Smith was the only offensive player he had ever seen that played with a linebacker's mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, you couldn't deny it. Like, the dude had an edge to him. Like, he should have been on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing is this, and again, so much of the receiver position is inevitably dependent upon the quarterback position.
Yeah.
And we're talking about DJ Moore never having the luxury of having a quarterback 2 years in a row. So it's really kind of hard to really super judge DJ really harsh. My thing is this: he doesn't even have to be Steve Smith.
Right.
I just want to know that he is open more than 75% of the time, which is what the best wide receivers in football are. And I feel like if you even look back last week on that trick play that Washington challenged when Christian McCaffrey threw it to Cam, and Cam was going to go downfield to DJ Moore. It was supposed to be a big shot play, but DJ Moore wasn't open. And I feel like, there are some times when he is open, he's dynamic with the ball in his hands. But then there are other times when I feel like he's just not dependable. It's like the aggression of his route running is either there or it isn't. And I don't like that flux back and forth. Like, be dominant all the time. You don't have to have the brash, in your face Steve Smith type of personality. Not everyone is going to be that type of person. But I do want to see the makings of a number one wide receiver. And I don't know if we've seen that enough from DJ Moore.
Well, I think
especially if you want to pay him like wide receiver money, like big time wide receiver money, then I want to see some more.
But maybe is this the reason they paid Robbie?
I mean, I think it has a lot to do with O-line.
You got Terrace and you done paid Robbie. I mean, maybe that might be the reason why.
I was saying this a while back. The reason why they paid Robbie and drafted Terrace was they were going to see, there is a wait-and-see approach. I genuinely believe that they're going to try to trade DJ, which I think will be a mistake if they keep Cam.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people didn't even think that we should have signed Robbie.
I was one of them.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that money would have been best served somewhere else. So
well, Robbie's going to waste because the best thing that Robbie does, they don't do, which is throw the ball downfield.
Yeah.
I thought they should have traded Robbie in the offseason.
And so let's move to this. I want to segue the conversation to our defense. And I wanted to do it in a different kind of way that I thought was kind of funny. But Dante Jackson was a part of a headline this week in that he was online commenting on Instagram. And Dante Jackson put, I guess somebody was criticizing him about his play. And he put, damn, bro, I thought last week I became a star. And that kind of,
it's NFL.
Yeah, but it reminds you a little bit, too, that, NFL players, they do use social media and they go on there and they see all the shit that we talk about them. You know what I mean? Like when Curtis Samuel has a bad day and you're a 20-something-year-old NFL player, yeah, you're going to go on Twitter and see everyone lighting you up. Mm-hmm. And I wonder, is this a problem, do you think? Knowing that Dante Jackson is kind of an emotional dude to begin with, do you like it that he's kind of taking the temperature of his level of play on or off the football field? Or would you prefer that he just don't, not read social media, block out all the noise, and just go out there and continue to prepare his best? Is this a problem at all to anyone who wants to go?
Not at all.
I don't think it's a problem, but at the same time, in today's day and age, they're good. I mean, it's almost impossible not to get on social media. I think some players do that, but I believe some players are still on social media, but you don't know who they are.
Sometimes that helps them too, getting all this shit talking.
Yeah, but it's like I'll go back to some of the older folks. You take some of the older guy that you imagine when he was on social media when he was young.
Michael
or
Irvin.
when if they had social media back then,
Yeah.
I mean, it might not have been good.
Yeah, dude. Dude, listen, I don't know how many of you guys listen to comedy podcasts, but there's Andrew Schultz, Flagrant 2. Yeah, they had Michael Irvin on their podcast. Dude, I'm no Cowboys fan, but I fucking love that dude. How do you not love that dude? He's the best. But yeah, if they had social media back then, dude, I can't even imagine the people that would have been thrown off of football teams and suspended and whatever, man.
Yep.
But
I mean, we was talking about Steve Smith a while ago. Do you imagine something that happened like that today? Steve Smith would have never made it back to the Panthers. He'd have been suspended for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Well, there was video of it, so I mean,
yeah, there was.
Yeah, but
I wonder if Steve Smith ever apologized to that dude.
Yeah,
he did. He did, and they sent him to anger management classes too.
Yeah, I'm sorry I beat your ass.
So Edward Moore says he's not worried about Dante at all. Is anybody worried about Dante, or do you think
not really? Because you know what, Dante had a rough rookie year. We know that. Then he kind of changed himself. He developed better. And Sunday he had a bad way. He just had a bad day.
Yeah.
Fox used to say you have a bad day to pick a bad day, or he just had a bad day. Now, if he comes out this Sunday and looks like that, next week we might have a different opinion.
Yeah.
But
especially against Tua.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan.
And by the way, Tua surprisingly has been playing his best football these past couple of weeks. The Dolphins have won 3 in a row. So going into this football game, and this is not a game where you can just kind of rest back on your laurels and say, "Oh, it's the Dolphins." Washington? Yeah, they're kind of playing their best version of their Miami Dolphins football. So I wanted to use that to segue to this conversation. Are we worried about our defense, or is this defense fine? Is it going to be able to turn it around? Did we just put up a piss poor performance at the bank, and now we just needed that to kind of get our heads right. What are you expecting from this defense, or did we kind of get exposed?
I expect total dominance from our defense.
I don't.
I think it was just I don't know.
If I don't recall who the Dolphins running backs are, but I'll be bluntly honest. If they looked at the tapes that we've lost this year and realized we can't stop a power run attack, they'll do their best to overpower us, just like other people.
Didn't they just sign Philip Lindsay?
And if they may have, and if they start going at us in that power run game, right now I don't see anything Carolina's done this year to stop that.
Philip Lindsay might be the something to look at.
I mean, I think they got a couple guys on defense they haven't used. Haskins or not Haskins. Maybe I was right. The defensive tackle we took in the 7th round has been inactive all year. They need big bodies.
Phil Hoskins.
Yeah, big snacks, what they call him, ain't it?
Yeah, big snacks. Yeah.
I mean, I would at least I would put him in the rotation somewhere, because I know who's a Matt Rule guy, but that defensive tackle that started last year,
Bravion Roy.
Yeah. He was on roller skates last Sunday.
And so was Derek Brown.
Exactly.
Derek Brown got pushed around.
Yeah, they all got pushed around, and unless we change something to fix that, that's going to be a repeated nightmare.
Yeah.
No matter who we take on, it's going to be a repeated nightmare till we figure out how to fix that problem.
And then my thing is, I want to see our pass rush step up. Tua is not a mobile quarterback. He's dealt with a bunch of injuries. Has ever since he was at Alabama. I mean, I want to get after this dude.
He is something a deep ball.
Yeah, he's really not a deep ball thrower. He did have a good one last week, but again, Tua's playing his best football. But I want to be able to stop the run, which is obviously what they're going to lean on the most. And I want to rush the passer, man. I'm expecting a big game from Hassan Reddick and Brian Burns.
I want to see someone besides Hassan Reddick. I want to see someone
Burns, man.
I want to see
Burns
besides Reddick.
But yeah, specifically Burns, though. I mean, and that's why I mentioned him and DJ Moore earlier. We all feel that these two players have superstar potential. That they can be the type of players that people all around the NFL are talking about. But as of right now, I don't know that they are those players.
I'm going to see Greg Matos. I don't know where he's been.
But we definitely need a more physical edge stuffer. Yeah. And I think Gross Matos is definitely a part of that for sure. And just overall, just better, more sound defense. And we've all been very critical of Joe Brady. But, dude, I'm going to keep that criticism on Phil Snow. I think, Phil Snow, when you look at our defense, whenever our defense has a bad day, we fall off of a cliff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just a bad day. It's a terrible day. Man. I mean,
I think that's the sign of not showing up. I mean, that's not like getting outplayed. That's just not showing up.
Yeah, but whose fault is that?
Coach.
100%. It has to be on the coaches. I mean, when especially at home, when your home performances look that terrible. Yeah, man, that's not a good thing.
For Cam's reunion and everything, and how hot that city was. I mean,
I was reading the Miami Dolphins are really bad at the run. We might actually can pull this out. They're really bad at the run.
When they got Philip Lindsay, I think he might be starting.
Yeah, but is he not going on his third team this season already?
No, he was signed to the Texans, and the Texans just cut him.
Yeah, but did Denver traded him or released him or something, didn't they?
It was in the offseason, though. He started out the season with the Texans.
Yeah, and then I picked up one of their running backs in one of my fantasy football leagues. I have to look up his name, but yeah, they're not, they haven't been all that dominant. Running the football, passing the football, but again, they've kind of found a rhythm. I'm interested to see how much farther Cam and Joe Brady will continue their evolution. Will we see some more wrinkles of some things that we haven't seen before?
Yes, more time. More time with the playbook.
Yeah, more time with the playbook, just more familiarity, more time to get on the same page with the receivers. Just hoping that we really see a market improvement.
Hopefully more
offensive efficiency. And more deep shots and better third down conversion rate. Mm-hmm. We have to be able to convert those third downs, man. That was embarrassing last Sunday.
I think I want to see some play action passes because we know who and what CMC is. We know, bro. We can run play action with Cam and Cam alone. I was genuinely shocked that we didn't. I don't recall any play action passes or any deep ones anyway.
No.
The
deepest then was the Chris McCaffrey pass back to Cam.
Now I don't expect him to do a lot of read option style. I think they'll do some in time, but they won't do a heavy dose of it like Cam used to do. Because I think they just want to be safe, and that's all right with me. If they don't do that, they just have to. If they just have to go find a power back somewhere, somebody who could do a power back other than Cam Newton, especially if he stays until next year. So.
Well, Chuba. Chuba's a downhill runner.
I think they have to do the read option.
He didn't get no carries last week either.
He's hurt on the depth chart.
He's gotten a few.
But
I heard he's down on the depth chart. Chuba.
Is he?
Yeah, I thought that he had some good runs. I want to see him continue. I think that we have a good three-headed hydra right now. Christian McCaffrey in front, and then let Chuba Hubbard and Amir Abdullah get some snaps, and let them do their thing. Keep it a good mix, and I think that we'll be able to get everybody a good amount of touches. Chuba had one snap but no touches, according to Edward Moore.
That Amir Abdullah earlier this evening, he posted a little sign like a mute mode that he was mad about something, but nobody dwelled into it. It could not have been enough to do with football. But now on the depth chart, now Chuba's second and Abdullah's third.
Oh, really? Okay. I read somewhere that Chuba was third.
Yeah, they may have changed that.
I don't know, man.
Who knows?
Hey, real quick, I was just reading through the comments. I see a lot of what's name popping up. J Doe, you are absolutely tripping if you're sitting there saying that JC Horn is not a QB, a fucking corner, like a shutdown number one corner. Like, just because we have Gilmore on the team, let's not get it twisted. 3 games into the season, opposing offenses were afraid to go at him.
Yeah, and then how are you going to judge a rookie player who's been injured?
Yeah,
who's been injured.
He played 3 games, and then he was great in them 3 games. But
bro, the reason him getting injured was the reason why they wanted to go out and get C.J. Henderson and get Stephon Gilmore, because him going down changed the defense up so much. Yeah. Again, as a rookie, 3 game sample size.
Yeah, man, J.C. Horn is a good player. I want to see more of him. The other day he was back at practice. He was in a red jersey.
I saw a post that said JC Horn back at practice because he's tired of Dante's shit.
I hope so, man. I would love to have him back right now. Hey, but by the way, man, if anybody disagrees with us and you want to come on here and tell us why, dude, this is the Friday free-for-all. I just posted the link in the description. If you want to come tell us we're wrong, tell us we're tripping, that's what the Friday free for all is all about, man. You can come in here and let your opinion be heard. So if anybody wants to come talk, come do it.
I think I'm gonna be mad if I don't ever see Gilmore and Horn on the same field.
It gotta happen, man. It got to.
Gilmore. They said that Gilmore will get a lot more reps this week than
Gilmore.
That he's still recovering from that. He's still recovering from that injury.
I was thinking about it because they call Bill Belichick the Sith Lord. So if Bill Belichick's the Sith Lord, then Gilmore has to be Darth Vader. And Darth Vader had a Padawan of his own. He was training. They got to be JC.
That's true, man.
Darth Vader is Tom Brady.
Yeah, you can go. You can go with that.
Yeah, Belichick might be Emperor Palpatine, dude. Look kind of similar too. Yeah. Oh, that's Matt Rule, man.
No, Jar Jar is Sam Darnold.
Yeah. It's Sam Darnold. So we're not worried about the defense. We think our defense has a reasonably good bounce back game. Yeah, and also
play angry.
Yeah, true. We gotta play angry. Also, how about this? Historically, we were always beating up on the Cardinals. We normally beat up on them. Well, the Dolphins are another team that the Panthers normally win against. So, I'm hoping to continue that trend, man.
Yeah, what either the 2017 season or but I think Cam threw for like 3 or 4 touchdowns and had a rushing one.
Yeah,
it's like 35 something.
I can't remember
Monday Night Football. Dude, Luke Kuechly had an interception. Cam Newton threw a beautiful back shoulder pass to Devin Funchess. Yeah, I remember that game, man.
In that game is when I got my hopes up for what Funchess could be. Because I remember people talking about how at his pro day or at the combine, he his 40-yard dash was not that high. And I remember it was I think a screen pass that came through to him, and Funchess caught it. And like when he turned the field after like his first 2 or 3 steps, I was like, they ain't catching him. So I went online like, bro, there's no way that man is. They like he ran a 4.5 or 4.6.
Yeah, but I remember that he ran like 22 miles per hour or something.
I was like, bro, there's no way.
And yeah, they clocked him as the fastest player that week in the NFL.
I was like,
he was the fastest player. I'm like, damn, where the hell you been at, bro?
And I was like, bro, he finna take. They traded Benjamin Wells. Like, man, Funchess finna take the fuck and then do shit. So fucking hurt about it.
Funchess was all right till he got to the Lions.
I don't know what
got to Detroit.
That game legitimately seemed like it ended his damn prompt. Like any promise he had was gone.
Yep.
Dude, you can make the argument that he still has never recovered from that one game.
Nah.
I mean, even still, he's been injured. He never had a chance to.
Did he opt out last year?
But he opted out. But then he went to the Packers. Then he went to the Colts and got hurt. So yeah, man, it's been.
He signed with the Bengals, but he never made it all year. I think he went on IR or the COVID. He signed with the Bengals, and then he went on COVID, and he's been out ever since.
Yep. Hey, so another thing. This is a good question. Are we expecting too much out of the Panthers without a decent offensive line? Or do we think that just adding Cam Newton to this offense isn't going to be enough to provide that boost, that spark?
With the way our defense has been playing, this should, but like last week, it didn't do shit.
If our defense returns to form, which I wholeheartedly expect them to do, I think this upcoming game they're going to go out there and play to the standard that they have for themselves, along with Cam providing that stabilizing factor for the offense. Meaning that, I think over the last 3 or 4 weeks, our offensive line grades are actually graded out in the top 10. So we do actually seem to have a decent O-line right now. Like if we're going off of the PFL and all those other rankings, we have a top 10 O-line. We have a damn good quarterback. I see absolutely no reason for expectations to be anything less than getting a couple more wins. Like I said it before, I wanted a winning season. If we're able to make the playoffs, I'm not going to be like, oh shit, we made the playoffs. Why the hell we? No, I'm going to be happy as hell. But when you look at the individual performances, and I said that I was talking to a friend. And I said about the Red Wolves game. I said that was the worst defensive performance that the defense has put on all season. And he was like, yo, like worse than the Vikings, worse than the Cowboys. I was like, yeah, worse than all that, because the one key factor in all 5 of those previous losses, Sam Darnold and the offense was just incompetent. You had Darnold giving the ball away, defense on the field entirely too much, and to top it all off, the offense wasn't moving the ball. We should have won the Eagles game. We should have won the Giants game. And if we had a competent QB, those games probably go the other way. If not, a few others probably go the other way. So I don't expect the defense to put on another performance like that for the remainder of the season. It actually bothers me when I hear people say, oh, we can't stop the run. We've been able to stop the run. Like, there's plenty of instances. Like last week, the Cardinals have a good run game. You could talk about Kyler being out. You could talk about D-Hop being out. But how many of their starting O-linemen were out? And James Conner, bro, like, to start the game, you had a forced fumble, strip sack. The very next drive gets stalled out because our defense bowled up and stopped the run. So we've been capable of shutting down opposing teams' runs. I just think last week they got a little too high on the hog. Like, hey, Cam's back. We ain't got to go out there with our A game. They went out there with their C game and they got their asses hit. I think that's going to be something of a wake-up call for them moving forward. And
the Cardinals last week, they didn't have Kyler Murray or D-Hop, and they killed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They were. You could talk about Kyler being out. You could talk about D-Hop being out. But last I checked, neither one of those two play on the offensive line, and we were able to stop their run. So the defense can do that. We want to see them do that consistently, and I believe that the best coach on that staff is Coach Snow. Then the way that Reddick and the other defensive guys are talking, the way Shaq, his body language and shit, they're pissed. They know what they're capable of, and they didn't perform that way, and it just so happens to be against their former coach. So,
yeah, man. And then, again, I find it kind of ironic that, you mentioned all the games that we could have been in, and in the first 3 games against NFC East opponents, our offense just couldn't do anything, even though our defense did everything in its power to try and keep us in those games. Then we finally get Cam Newton, and then it flips the other way around. Our defense can't do shit, and then Cam once again has to put on this superhero cape and do everything in his power to lead us to victory.
We went 0-4 against the NFC East.
Isn't that embarrassing?
Jesus Christ.
So, like, on the defensive performance this past Sunday, as I was watching the game, and I went back and tried to find as many clips, because I'm not about to pay for the NFL All 22. I'm trying to find as many clips of the examples that I saw when they were talking. I think Reddick was talking about the buddy system and seeing guys mess up, and instead of getting on them, you're like, hey, patting them on the back. It'll be all right. You'll get it right. There's a few plays where I saw the defensive line actually did its job. Derek Brown took on 2 blocks, and he held his ground, so on and such. And it would be Jermaine Carter. Like, there's one play in particular where I saw him jump to the side of the field where Shaq was, and the area he vacated was the area the running back was going to.
Yeah.
What would have been a 2-3 yard pickup at most turned into an 8+ yard pickup, because I'm watching this and I'm like, bro, what the hell are you doing? Like, there's no reason to go over there. Shaq is already there, so if the dude cuts back, he's running into him. You just let him run another 5-6 yards. Like,
so what do you think that is? Why do you think, from performance to performance, sometimes they're firing on all cylinders, and then sometimes they're playing out of sorts like that? Like, what do you attribute that to, you think?
So, at the highest level of football I ever played was high school. And I can attest to it, having played linebacker the entire time I played football, from little league all the way up. When, like, there were moments where I would take myself out of the play simply because I was trying to make the play as opposed to just doing my job. And I think that's what happened because I think Brian Burns spoke to it. He's like, guys weren't doing their job. Like the best case scenario when you have your D line is down before the ball is snapped, they hike the ball. It's dope for a D lineman to be able to make a play like Morgan Fox did. He split the defenders, got into the backfield, made a tackle, got a tackle for loss. But what you're asking as a linebacker, what I'm asking my D lineman to do is not get blown off the ball. If the running back is getting to me 5 yards down the field, like 5 yards past the line of scrimmage, and no one touched him, it's a problem. Because those shots are going to start to add up, and I'm gonna get you're gonna get sore, you're gonna get frustrated. There were moments where the D line did exactly what they were supposed to do. They like I said, they held down. They weren't able to push and get into the backfield and disrupt the play in that sense. But they would open up lanes for, likewise, like how the offensive line's opening up lanes for the running back. The D line's opening up lanes for the linebackers to flow. Quite a few times you will see guys out of position, like, again, trying to make a play. And I'm only hypothesizing. You're in your head, you're like, oh, I gotta make a play. As opposed to, okay, the hole's opened up here, let me go fill it. And at worst, I'm going to push the running back to a defensive lineman, or I'm going to push him back to someone else to make the play. And when you have multiple guys doing that, it just there's a few times where I saw, like, I think on one of Taylor's pass, Heineke's pass, if Shaq had been maybe a yard back, it would have gotten picked. He's like right there. He's just a slight bit out of position. And
but there are coaches. I mean, again, our coaches have to take some responsibility for that in the film room, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so much of it is just due diligence, and you hear a lot of the same phrases like "dirty eyes," and a lot of times that's been associated with Dante Jackson, just having his eyes not being where they're supposed to be on the play, and not on the man in front of him, and instead he's looking at the quarterback or whatever. And I think that's kind of true for a lot of people on our defense. Really, a lot of guys they're too anxious and aggressive to make a play, and they just end up doing too much. They just start doing too much, and they're playing out of rhythms, out of sort. Yeah. Oh, hey, that reminded me. I wanted to bring something up that I wanted to get everyone's opinion on. This happened earlier in the week. One of Hassan Reddick's press conferences, he said, he was asked something along the lines of, what do the Panthers need to do different to stop having, these bad performances? And he said, enough with the buddy stuff. And I wanted to ask what you all thought that meant. Because a lot of people could kind of take that different ways. Like, what does buddy stuff mean? But what do you think Hassan Reddick meant when he said enough of the buddy stuff?
I think that I'll use an example. Luke Kuechly. When Luke Kuechly played, we all saw this. How many times right before the quarterback snapped the ball, he would manually move the folks to the correct alignment. Yeah. He would I saw him one time literally walk over and shove Thomas Davis 5 yards over to the other end.
Yeah,
he did stay there. And he used to line them up to where he thought they should be, and I don't see anybody doing that at all.
Yeah, I remember watching Luke Kuechly freak out on Trey Boston one play, like just shouting at Trey to get back deeper, go deeper. And because of Luke doing that, Trey was in the right position to make that play. I forget what game it was. Yeah, but we're missing out on some of that. So you think they're talking about the players holding other players accountable?
Yeah, that's. I remember watching that press conference, and to be honest, I got a little bit worried. Like, shit, it don't seem like Reddick want to be here. Like, bro, this man's gonna bounce first chance he gets. Like, he taking shots at his teammates now. But then I watched further into it, and I read a piece that was written on it, and he further explained that that's pretty much what he meant. He was saying that you'll see a guy out of position, or you'll see a guy make a mistake, instead of getting on him, like the leaders, the veterans on the team, instead of getting on him, they're like patting him on the back, like, hey, it's gonna be all right, bro. You'll get it the next time. Whereas he wants motherfuckers to be like, hey, get your shit together. Like,
I went back and watched his interview at that point. I'm like you. I had to go back and find out more. So I went back there and watched his whole presser. and I felt a lot better after that. But at the same time, Shaq was very short with the media that day. Shaq you got 2 minutes, let's go. I got things to do. You got 2 minutes, hurry up.
He went full Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, Shaq's changing a little bit, and at the same time, all this is happening. So I'm starting to wonder.
If Shaq can summon a little bit of Luke Kuechly, if he got to be that kind of, because like I've heard people make the comparison, and I'd have said it like he's playing like TD. Well, he might need to summon a little bit of Luke and just start getting into these cats. Like I said with Jermaine Carter, the number of times I saw that man just jump out of, like he took himself out of the play. It's like,
right.
I know this pure conjecture. There were multiple times in my short career, my high school career, where I would get into it on the sideline with other players because I'd be in there shit like, bro, you can't do that. And obviously, like pride and everything, manhood, like, bro, you ain't gonna be yelling at me in front of my family. Like, I don't give a flying fuck who you got in the stands.
Yeah, I'm on your team, bro. We're trying to win. But
I don't go through this hell throughout the week just to come out here and take an L because you want to damn be, you want to be put on the show or.
No, because you fucking around not doing your job, making us all look foolish.
And that's honestly what I think Hassan was getting at, like the main point of what he was saying. And if again, I think this loss and being that so in those previous 5 losses, you can put some of the blame on the defense. Like it's a team sport, you got to put some of it on the defense. But primarily the blame would fall on Brady and Sam Darnold. In this game, like I put 30% of the loss on Cam in the offense because the defense did give them 2 opportunities in the last few minutes of the game to go down and score. Yeah, but anybody with eyes will tell you that if the defense had performed to the standard that they had set already, he win that game easily. So
and also, but to add on to that, keep in mind what Cam Newton by that point had what, maybe 3 practices as the Carolina Panthers this season.
He had been with the team for 6 days, 6 practices.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, man, that's like, dude. The fact that Cam Newton came in and played as well as he did. I
think that's going to be his floor for the remainder of the season, however long it may be. And I really do want us to make the playoffs because I think if this team gets hot at the right time, they can go toe to toe with anybody. But I think the performance you saw this past Sunday will be Cam's absolute floor. He'll give you 1 touchdown pass and 1 touchdown rush, and he won't do anything spectacular. He won't wow anybody. But when he does go full Superman, it's going to be like, it's going to be a situation where motherfuckers are saying if Cam had been a starter from week 1, he'd be in the MVP conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Again, that's why we said earlier, that the contract that was paid to Teddy Bridgewater would have been a perfect contract for Cam Newton. And that would have made literally all parties involved happy. We wouldn't be dealing with Sam Darnold's stupid contract. It was so dumb, man. But then is there any part of you that has any fear about us losing to Miami? Again, knowing that the Panthers have, you always expect the unexpected with the Carolina Panthers, but knowing that we're on the road, we normally play pretty good against the Dolphins. Our team seems angry right now. Shaq Thompson's doing press conferences talking about, I got kids, I got somewhere to be, I got places to go, people to see, man. Which I thought that was funny too. I kind of feel like the Panthers have a chip on their shoulder right now, man. We got that big time fuck you energy, like these birds being flipped up right here, and I feel like the Panthers, they're due for a big time performance, and this has all the makings of one of those performances.
It's like what Kevin said. It's like what Kevin said. I expect domination.
Mm-hmm.
I keep referencing this YouTuber CJ the Champ. Like I was watching a few of his videos and he has some shit where he says Black Air Force energy. I think that's what the defense is gonna be rocking with this week. Like, no, the Dolphins aren't gonna want any part of this defense if they go out and play the way I expect them to play. And the only way the offense doesn't take a step forward is if someone siphons Cam Newton's energy and replaces it with Sam Darnold.
Oh boy, dude! I was in the press conference stream today when they were like, I was in the chat room while they were having some of the press conferences, and there was this one dude. He was just trolling, obviously, but saying Sam Darnold. We're going right back to Sam Darnold. As soon as he comes back, we paid him $18 million. Everybody's judging him too quick, and it's like, bro, what the fuck are you even talking about, man? Yeah, that's not happening. Cam Newton is going to be our quarterback of the future, and we're hoping that something happens to make Matt Rule stumble into the proper offensive line formation, because he certainly isn't going to do it of his own volition.
No,
I mean, we're having this Brady Christensen conversation yet again, and it just makes no sense to me why you wouldn't start that guy at left tackle. By the way, if you're in the chat room right now and you think that Brady Christensen shouldn't be starting at left tackle, tell me why, man. We want to hear, because I haven't heard one good reason as to why Dennis Daly should be starting over Brady Christensen, man.
no.
I mean, we've seen Dennis Daly play bad. We've seen him be hurt. It really doesn't it makes no sense to me, man. It really doesn't. But let me ask you guys this going forward. Is this still a run first offense, or do you expect to see the number of times that the Panthers throw the ball? Do you expect that number to increase, or are we still just feeding Christian McCaffrey?
Feeding Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, we're a run first offense.
Always.
I mean, we should be right now. I think we've got the talent to be otherwise, but right now, whether we like it or not, we're limited to our throws to Robbie, DJ, and C-Mac
from our offensive line.
Terrence Marshall's been out there, but he can't seem to get separation from the defensive backs at all. He doesn't get out there much anyway. But when he's out there, he's like an afterthought. They bump him at the line, he kind of stays there.
I mean, just knowing what type of player Cam is, or what type of player he's been throughout his career, I don't have an issue with Terrence not getting a whole lot of snaps, because I feel like the targets he may get would go to Tommy or Ian. Like Cam is always favorite his tight end, so we can go to some 2 tight end sets, which would help out in the run game.
Yeah,
and if we decide to pass, I've never been as down on Ian as other people were, because I stated this before. Ian's best year was his rookie year from a receiving standpoint, and it just so happens that was with Cam. Ever since then, like, he had Teddy at quarterback, and for whatever reason, Teddy just seemed to not like tight ends. And then he was playing with Sam for half this season. I think
offense. I think Joe Brady doesn't like tight ends.
I think this will be a run first team, and should we ever get in a situation where we have to throw it, I don't expect that to be the case this week or when we play the Falcons. Falcons. But
the Falcons.
The Buffalo Bills, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I don't think the Saints are going to do. I think the Saints are going to be trying to play spoiler. If we beat the Dolphins, if we beat the Falcons, and we beat the Bills, and we get a game from the Bucs, they're going to be trying to play spoiler. But yeah, the only team on the left on our schedule that I think it could possibly turn into a Cam, you got to go out there and sling it, you got to win this off the strength of your arm, would be the Bills and the Bucs. And if it comes to that, I have every bit of faith in Cam and being able to execute on that. Like, you go and look at this past week on their first drive to try to get back to try to win the game when the score was 24-21. Cam hit CMC. CMC just didn't get deep enough into his route. Then the follow-up, The one time the O-line gave up a sack was at the end of the game, but I didn't see anything out of his throwing motion, his lack of arm strength. I didn't see any of that. So I don't have any worries whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't have any worries either. I think that Cam Newton, dude, I thought, especially last week, he was throwing that ball with zip. I mean, a few of those plays, again, most of them were short plays, or short passes.
CMC passing touchdown.
Yeah, man, dude, that was the perfect. Right up the seam, with touch, with velocity, right over the head of the defender. Yeah, man, dude, I have no worries about Cam Newton's arm. And by the way, John Ellis, I think, posted on Twitter, someone showed a clip of the 2019 LSU Tigers, and that there was a play that Joe Brady ran at LSU that was literally identical but inverted on that the same type of play where Cam Newton threw the ball to DJ right in the end zone. That was literally a play out of Joe Brady's LSU playbook. So, I think the more that we see these two together, the more we're going to see that playbook open up. Now that you do have a quarterback that can legitimately run the offense.
Right.
And that's what I'm hoping will happen.
That's what I was thinking. I know we've gave Joe Brady down the road quite a bit, some more than others. But for as much as we want to blame, say, the wide receivers or the tight ends haven't been producing because of the quarterbacks, we need to question and wonder if maybe Joe Brady can unleash his real playbook because of the bad quarterback and decent and incompetent offensive line.
He had his hands tied by Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
and that's what I've been.
Yeah,
I've not been a Joe Brady fan, but it is frustrating to a sense because Sam was playing fairly well the first 4 games. Honestly,
Yes.
if you exclude the 2 interceptions in the Cowboys game, he was playing fairly decent. And I don't know what the hell happened, but the wheels clearly fell off on that man. Like I said, there's no reason why we should have lost to the Eagles. I'd argue that if he had a cleaner game against the Vikings, we'd probably pull that one out. We could have waxed the Giants' ass. Like, the defense was playing phenomenal in that game, and all they can manage was 3 points. And you look at the score, and it's 25-3, and it looked like we got blown out. The reality of it was, no, the offense just couldn't get right. So,
yeah, and yeah, Sam Darnold just, whenever he panics hard, and like he just completely takes 5 steps backward, man. And yeah, the offensive line was never good, but then it got to the point where he was hurting himself. Even when he did have a little bit of a pocket, he was throwing into double coverage, missing a bunch of wide open receivers. And again, for anyone that's been following our Tuesday night show, you know that I've been kind of the Joe Brady defender, and people say that, like, some think I'm too easy on Joe Brady. And I'm not saying that he's been the best offensive coordinator that we ever have, but I want to see what this offense can do with that good quarterback under center that can make all the throws, go through his progressions, stand calm under pressure, which he's going to have to do behind our offensive line, and deliver the football. And that's something that Bridgewater wasn't doing great. Sam Darnold damn sure didn't do very well. PJ Walker, he did well against the Cardinals, but for the most part has not been able to take care of the football very well while playing here in Carolina. Yeah, man. So it's like now Joe Brady has no excuses whatsoever. Now we have the weapons. We have the quarterback. It's time to put up or shut up.
I think Cam is going to get Joe Brady a head coaching job.
Ooh, maybe so. It is possible, man. Certainly possible. But where, though? I mean, still, man, I would not, if I was LSU or wherever, I don't think I would hire in Joe Brady to be my head coach.
I wouldn't.
No, but, and I'll keep saying this, if Joe Brady never fit Matt Rule. David Tepper promised he was going to bring an offensive coordinator as a head coach here. He didn't do that.
Real quick, Brado, that's the sad thing. Jermaine Carter is playing like the wrong 52. He is very much playing like the wrong 52.
Right. And then he turned around and not only so Tepper couldn't get his head coach or didn't get the head coach, so he turned around here and started trying to bring in. So he brought in Joe Brady, one of the hottest coordinators out there. I still don't think Joe Brady's system he ran in college, or even the system he played or he helped use in the Saints, fit Matt Rule's system. And that's part of the issue is Matt Rule wants to run a power run game offense. We don't have the people to do that, and the offensive coordinator doesn't really want to run that. And they're butting heads. I believe that. That's my opinion, though.
I believe there's a lot of button heads, Kenneth.
Yep.
I believe there's a lot of button heads between ownership. I believe there's button heads between coaches. I believe there's a lot of varying, differing opinions on what is right and what is wrong with this football team, man.
Right.
And dude, I would be interested to know if Brady Christensen has any defenders, and in these halls. I certainly hope so. But let's get Drew in on this. Drew, what are you thinking about this matchup with Miami? You think our defense is going to be able to get back on track? Are you worried about this defense at all?
I'm not worried about the defense. I look at it as they had a hiccup. It was one bad game. Get back on track. They're still the number one ranked pass defense in the NFL. They're still a top 5 ranked overall defense. I say that they'll have a bounce back game as long as they remember that they have to keep somebody looking at Tua, because Tua will take off and run. So as long as they've got Tua contained, I think they'll bounce back, and I think we get a big win in Miami this week. Much needed win.
I'm expecting blowout.
I'm not going to say blowout until they've actually given me something to believe that offense can put up numbers that could blow somebody out.
That's true.
Joe Brady does not impress me at all, and I'm tired of his excuses. I watched his press conference today. I'm over it. I'm tired of everybody talking about, well, I gotta do better. It's hard to make explosive. It's not hard to make explosive plays in the NFL. The Raiders just had a couple yesterday, and if Derek Carr can make a 20-yard pass, then Cam Newton damn sure can make a 20-yard pass. You just got to call the damn play to put the routes out there for them to run it. Instead of dinking and dunking everything downfield. Pull the damn cornerbacks back. Make them respect your deep ball. They're sitting on routes. We've said this for the last, 5 weeks?
Yeah.
The DBs are sitting on routes because they know Carolina's not going to throw the damn ball deep.
Yeah.
Burn them and make them respect it.
It's all these problems that I thought we were finally done with the prior coaching staff leaving town. We're still dealing with the same shit, not throwing deep. We're not playing our younger players, and that's what's so frustrating. And you know what's so ironic about this is that we have this notion of a DBO sign with Matt Rule. Don't beat ourselves.
And yet, Matt Rule needs to learn to live by that.
Yeah, dude, Matt Rule needs to go and touch the fucking DBO sign, bro. It's a problem, man. It's very annoying.
The weapons we have, Cody, with the weapons we have on offense right now, I would love for Carolina to run a Chizinski offense. Open the damn field up, because if you spread them out, that's going to make it much easier for the offensive line to block, and that's going to create bigger holes for Christian McCaffrey and Cam Newton to do their thing.
And imagine asking our defense to play with a lead. They can play aggressive.
Oh, my God. Could you imagine Hassan Reddick would break the single-season sack record in the next 4 weeks?
Dude, it would be incredible. It would be absolutely incredible, man. But and like this is okay. Are we just a bunch of fans who think that we know what we're talking about? Like, why is it so easy for us to come to these conclusions, but not our coaches? Like, why is it so obvious to us and no one who actually makes decisions for the Panthers?
Because they're overthinking it. They're overthinking it. Football is not that difficult. You do not need to be a rocket scientist to coach and play football. Make it simple. My coach used to have a saying called KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
Also,
it works.
Money involved.
One thing that hurt us real bad last week, that literally took points off the field, took plays, good plays, backed us up, was these penalties. Now, people can blame it on the coaches. They can blame it on the players. My personal opinion, I don't really give a rat's ass who you want to blame it on. They need to fix it because one sure way to get people to pay attention, you take your starting offensive line, whoever that is, whether it's Taylor Moton, and he screws up a couple of times and say, go to the locker room and let the players on the field and on that team know I just sent that starter to the locker room because he keeps drawing penalties. Some people are going to lose their jobs over these penalties. But Matt Rule's not going to do that. He's too busy kissing butt.
Yeah. You don't see that crap happening with Belichick. Belichick will ship your ass out of there.
No, you don't see that with Belichick. You don't see that with Mike Tomlin.
Nope.
You don't see that, man. Nope. And again, like that's the double-edged sword. If the Panthers finish well and have a good season the rest of the season, we're still putting up with all of this bullshit from our coaches that we're hating and that we don't want to have to deal with again. It's like if the Panthers make a playoff push, yeah, Matt Rule isn't going anywhere, y'all.
Well, Matt Rule isn't going anywhere regardless. Joe Brady's pretty much gone. Brady's gone. Phil Snow's not going anywhere. Matt Rule's not going anywhere. The quarterback's coach will be elevated to the offensive coordinator position because he's not going outside the team to get an offensive coordinator.
I think David Tepper's going to force his hand in that. I believe if Brady goes, I believe David Tepper's going to have a hand in that, and he's just going to say, Mike Rule, if you don't like it, then leave. That's just my opinion, mind you. Yeah. But I believe that Tepper's going to involve him, kind of like bringing Cam back. Rule didn't want that, but Tepper said, here's what we're going to do. You're going to deal with it.
Yeah. And that is one thing I do respect about Tepper, man. When he makes a final decision, it's final.
I want to ask y'all something.
Yeah.
I'll go back to John Fox, but we also throw in Ron Rivera in there. If Ron Rivera had one safety that costed him 2 15-yard penalties back to back, would he still play the rest of the game?
I mean,
if he's a rookie, no, he's yanking him. A veteran, he gives him a longer leash.
He's going to sit him
because there's absolutely no reason why Justin Burris is on this team.
But that's a good one, man. Justin
Burris. That 15-yarder he got for hitting Heineke was dumb. Dumb. Now, the one on the receiver, that was a bad call because the receiver hit him. He didn't hit the receiver.
I could see that one, but still, that one on Heineke was just stupid.
That he needed to be slapped in the head for that one.
I would have benched him and left him on the bench.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, Panther Pickle. I would have left his ass on the bench too because it was uncalled for. He was already sliding. The play was over, and you still dove on him. You know that's gonna cause a flag, automatic.
Yep.
So why hurt your team? It's stupid.
Right. I don't think he's that good of a safety myself personally. I think Chandler's as good as he is, and I don't like Chandler either. So
I mean, really, who among us ever thought that Burris was going to be a legitimate option? You know, I don't think ever. No. But going back to what you said, Kenneth, about Ron Rivera, dude, I remember that one. There was one game. I don't remember who it was against. It was sometime in, I think, 2017. It was Jonathan Stewart's last year. And he had like 2 fumbles in one game. And it was absolutely, dude, there were terrible fumbles that killed big time drives for us. Yeah. And what's the Cameron Artis-Payne? Ron Rivera would not give Cameron Artis-Payne a chance to save his life. Even after Jonathan Stewart had fumbled 2 times, giving the ball right back to the other football team. And it's like, man, so I think Drew had the right answer. It depends on if it was a rookie or if it was a veteran, because that would really dictate how Ron Rivera would play them or not. But I want to ask everyone a real frank question, to everyone in here and to everyone in the chat room. Are the Carolina Panthers a playoff team?
No.
And tell me why. Tell me if the answer is yes or no. Tell me your reason why that is.
Unfortunately, no. And the reason is because of the coaching staff. Plain and simple. The players on that team, they are a playoff team. The coaching staff is not playoff ready. They're not. And unfortunately, that's going to cost the team.
I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to say yes, the Panthers are a playoff team. But if they make the playoffs, it will have to be in spite of poor coaching decisions.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
So right now, I hear 2 people saying we're going to have to overcome our coaches.
Yeah.
I would say yes, because who else is going to get that other seed?
Well, the Vikings are in front of us because they own the tiebreaker. The Philadelphia Eagles are in front of us because they own the tiebreaker. The football team, if they keep playing the way they're playing, they own the tiebreaker. I mean, that's 3 teams right there.
Yeah.
So if somebody explains to me, so if we end up winning out, don't we win the division and secure playoff spot?
Not necessarily, because that means Tampa would have to lose another game. Because we've already lost 6. That means we would beat Tampa twice. That would only leave Tampa with 5 losses. Somebody would have to lose another game somewhere down the line.
Well, wait, who is it that played this week? They is it? I think the Eagles play the Giants. There's a team. The Vikings play someone, and we play them also. So it's like whoever wins or like whoever loses, as long as we take care of business, I think that'll help us. I can't remember the team though.
Well, if we end up with the same record, they will win the head-to-head.
Sadly, I'm blaming this. If we don't make the playoffs because of the head-to-head matchups, the tiebreakers and shit these other teams have, I'm not going to blame the coach. Well, no, I'm blaming the coaches, and I'm blaming Sam Darnold. Everybody else gets some.
Yeah, I'm blaming the coaches because they left Sam Darnold in there, and we all knew he needed to be pulled.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was about to say I'm not going to blame the coaches, but yeah, the coaches were the ones that pulled the trigger on bringing Sam here.
So I pulled up the playoff picture right now. Right now, the division is the Cardinals, the Packers, the Buccaneers, the Cowboys, the Rams, the Vikings, the 49ers, which is weird to me.
Yeah.
They're playing
the Bucs might lose this week. The Colts are actually playing pretty good.
Then it's like we have a bunch of people that are kind of floating right around us right now. And again, it sucks when you see teams like Washington and Philadelphia because they have a tiebreaker over us, which is annoying. But yeah, we're from a record perspective, we are still in this just as much as a lot of these other teams. And by the way, even the teams that are ahead of us, they're not that far ahead of us. The Vikings are 5-5. So are the 49ers. Cowboys are 6-5. Buccaneers are 6-5. When you put the
Cowboys are 7-4.
Yeah, they're over Cowboys this month. Cowboys.
Oh yeah, I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, Bucks are 7-3. Cowboys are 7-4. Yeah, I was looking at their opponents.
Now, the Saints are in free fall. The Saints ain't got a quarterback. Their running back's been hurt. Their defense is starting to feel the effects of it, and they're just lost right now.
I would say the Cowboys too.
And
they're 0-4 right now.
Yeah, and it's just the Saints are taking on the Bills this week. You know they're going to lose that one.
The Saints already lost to the Bills. They lost 31-6 yesterday.
Yeah, that was last night.
I knew that. But yeah, and
yeah,
I mean the Saints look just awful. And I know people don't want to hear this, but if the Bears, if they keep playing that veteran quarterback they're playing, they're going to win some games.
I mean, I don't know about this year, just because their offensive. Dude, I don't know if anyone suffered through that Bears-Lions game.
No.
Dude, was that not the worst football you've ever seen? My God, man. Two embarrassing football teams.
I don't know. Detroit and Pittsburgh may have been worse.
Dude, imagine being a fan of the Detroit Lions. That has to be
do it.
rough. I mean, real rough.
I don't know if I could do that or not.
Awful of an owner.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I've heard I've heard chatter online that they're starting to fans are starting to draw petitions and demanding the NFL remove the owner.
That'll never happen.
They should.
Never happen.
They should.
Dude, the Washington football team, they've been trying to get rid of Dan Snyder for years, and that hadn't happened.
Listen,
there is a way to do it.
Worse than the Detroit owner.
There is a way to do it, but they got to be real dirty about it.
But yeah, you have to. You have to. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You have to give them the Jerry Richardson way out. There's got to be some accusations of some wrongdoing.
Yeah. They got that against Washington. They still can get rid of Snyder.
Yeah, you're right. They have all that on Snyder, and it still ain't enough.
They got that on Snyder, and Gruden gets fired.
Yeah.
He's suing the NFL for it.
Yeah, he is suing the NFL.
The fans need to get out and just like, we're not going to show up at the games anymore.
Yeah, that's just stop showing up. I wouldn't. If I was a fan, I wouldn't buy a ticket.
Didn't they have like one winning season in the past like 50 years?
I wouldn't, but Pat, the problem is the NFL, awful. The way they're doing all this marketing share, it's not, you just can't buy the ticket. You can't buy the merchandise. Don't go buy these jerseys. Don't go buy all this stuff.
Don't buy shit.
And
who jerseys you want on Detroit?
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Detroit's number one selling jersey should be a paper bag.
It should be Barry Sanders, who retired back in like '99.
Dude, how about? Can you imagine? Yeah, you have two legendary players tied to your football team, and Barry Sanders and Megatron, and both of them quit early, and they're like, "Yeah, we're done with football."
Both hate the franchise.
Yeah, we're done with this soul-sucking football team.
It's interesting that they wouldn't let Megatron or Barry Sanders leave, but they traded Matthew Stafford.
They owe I think Megatron some money, don't they?
I think they owe him like $3 million or something. Yeah, I heard that on
all the complaining Panthers fans do. It could always be worse.
It could always be worse. Hey, Justin, I don't know if I got your opinion on this. Do you think that the Panthers are a playoff team?
Yeah, I was. I said a little bit ago that I think we can win. We can make the playoffs, but it would be in spite of poor decision making by the coaches. And if through some miracle our coaches are like, okay, like Rule starts managing the game to the best of his ability, and they put the right guys out there, and they're putting them in positions to succeed. I see absolutely no reason why I'm being extremely optimistic with this, but I genuinely see a situation. I see a situation unfolding in which, with the way that the team played last week, like I said, the offense took a step forward, the defense took a step back. I think the defense got offended by that, knowing that loss, like the previous 5 losses, they could say that, well, we played pretty well. The offense just kind of fucked up. Sam Darnold fucked up. Well, that wasn't the case this past Sunday, and I genuinely hope and think that they took that to heart. They're going to go out there against the Dolphins and wreck their shit. we're gonna go into the bye. So any nicks and bruises guys have, they'll get a chance to heal up. Cam's gonna get an entire week to go through the playbook and be more familiar with it. Then we come out of the bye, we play the Falcons. I think the defense is going to, with the slap in the face, the defense is going to let that happen again. So they're going to destroy the Falcons. Hopefully play the Bills close.
The Bills haven't been world beaters.
Yeah, the Bills have not been world beaters. I think we're going to go out there surprise. I think it's going to be the game that brings a lot of attention to Carolina.
Well, and speaking of the Buffalo Bills, last night Tre'Davious White just went down with the ACL tear. So you hate to see it, but it's gonna benefit our receivers.
Chase Young went down with a tear,
I don't.
That's true too. Yeah.
I don't think we're going to make the playoff. No, I don't think we should make the playoffs. We may end up making the playoffs because the other teams are as bad as we are. But I don't think we're going to make the playoffs, and I say that as partly a coaches. It's just all coaches basically, because with the coaches' lack of roster management and lack of game management.
It all sounds like the Giants Super Bowl run. Everyone blamed the coaching.
Dude, that's what I said. I think it was.
But the thing is, the Giants coaching staff learned from their mistakes and changed things up when they got in the playoffs. Will Rule be able to do the same thing?
That's the biggest question. Yeah, I personally
play better.
The Giants didn't have so many younger players as we got though.
That's
Eli just play better. That's
my statement is coming. Like I said, I'm typically a very optimistic individual. I try to rein it in with a little bit more realism. But I for my entertainment purposes, obviously I would love to see. I think a lot of Panthers fans would love to see the Panthers in the playoffs. The storylines that would be attached to it, and we all know that all it takes is for you to get your foot in the door. If the team gets hot, like I'm hoping that this loss was that wake-up call for everybody, and we get hot over the next couple of weeks, we can have a situation where the Panthers make a deep run.
Dude, don't you remember that? Doesn't it kind of feel like that 2014 season where at one point in the season we're 3-7-1, and then we peel off 4 more victories right at the end when it matters the most. Cam Newton plays his best football, and then we make a playoff push. Like, it feels like that, man.
Cody,
it really does feel like that.
Cody, think about it. What we were talking about earlier. The Panthers suck at home. If we went out and get like the 7th seed, we don't have a home playoff game.
No, that's a good point, Kevin. I like the way you think, bro. Mm-hmm. I like the way you think. That's a good one.
Playing at home and sucking.
Yeah, man.
I want to make the playoffs because I don't want them to try to use Cam as a scapegoat.
So we only have, by the way, we only have 2 more home games. We play we play Atlanta at home on the 12th.
That game?
And Tampa.
And then Tampa on the 26th. And those 2 are separated by a bye. So no. We play Atlanta and then Buffalo on the road, and then we play Tampa Bay at home. So yeah, man. Do we have to? I mean, let me ask you this: do we have to win out? Is there any leeway to lose even 1 more game?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so either, man. Especially
when you
look at.
I would say
when you look at the Saints, they're right around us. The Philadelphia Eagles, the Minnesota Vikings, like a lot of these teams, man, they're right there. And if they have the tiebreaker over us. So man, the Panthers, they have no more room for error, man. We have to see the best football that we're able to produce right here, right now.
They can't
And
lose.
frankly,
I know that much. They cannot lose this game.
Yeah,
I think that would also be that even if we don't make the playoffs, but we win a few more games, and we just let's say we go 9-8 or we go 9-8 or 10-6 and we miss the playoffs because another team beat us earlier in the season when they had the tiebreaker. That would be favorable to Cam in his position because then they could look and say, well, I think that would be the obvious thing. You would look and say, well, if Cam had been the starter from week 1, that would never happen, and we would have made the playoffs. And Rule would be saying that we would have made the playoffs in my second year as the head coach of the team. And he might. I would hope that he sit there and he'd be like, okay, we got to bring Cam back. Let's bring Hassan. Let's bring Cam. Let's keep the fun. If they figure out a way to keep DJ and we can run it back to an extent. I'm
need a middle linebacker.
We definitely.
I still think we try and trade DJ.
The thing I'm hoping for with the middle linebacker position, I trust in Snow so much that I don't feel that we need to put anything in the like we don't need to go out and draft a guy real high.
No.
If they can find a athlete, because they love the Raz, if they can go out and find an extremely talented, athletic young dude who's hungry to prove himself, I trust that Snow is going to coach him up. I'm not asking him to be Luke Kuechly because those are some very big shoes, but from what I'm seeing out of Jermaine, he's a serviceable backup.
Yeah.
To try to
give me John Beeson. I mean, you don't have to be Luke Kuechly. Give me John Beeson.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. I haven't started looking at college film yet, so I don't know what if it's a linebacker heavy draft, D line heavy draft. I haven't started looking that far, but yeah. And then one of you mentioned Frankie Louvu. I would love to hear Frankie Louvu some more snaps at Mike's linebacker. I mean, that guy. I looked it up. He's 6'3", 245 pounds. He flies around. Like, give him a shot, man.
Yeah, the brakes on Frankie Louvu. I know he's done some stuff, but Frankie Louvu is not a starting middle linebacker.
And doesn't he play more of a Hassan role? Like
they kind of move him a little bit. But yeah, I just think that he has a great nose for the football, and I know that that's required for playing Mike's linebacker. So I don't know.
My wife was getting on me about it. We were watching the game, and I forget what happened, but it was the fumble in the red zone by the Red Wolves. Fox forced it and Louvu recovered it, and I was sitting there like essentially gushing about the dude. Like, man, every time he's on the field, like he making a play, and my wife is staring at me, and she's like, "I thought Cam Newton was your favorite player." I'm like, bro, Louvu's making a strong push to become second.
Yeah, Louvu's
Luke Kuechly when there's drawbacks.
I hope so, man. I'm loving what Louvu has done for us. Look, man, let's get some predictions in here, and then let's get out of here, man. I'm also going to be I'll be on Greg's Super Civil Servants podcast again tonight at 9. Finishing.
I'll be in the chat.
Yeah, finishing our Arcane review. So definitely come check that out on the Super Civil Servants podcast here on YouTube. Check out our man Greg, the Bat Daddy.
Hawkeye?
Yeah, they are. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet, so I'm not going to be able to talk about it. But yeah, I'm going to try and get caught up on it. But yeah, let me get some score predictions, man. And I'll just I'll start from the top and work my way down from how I have you situated on my screen. Kenneth, Panther Pickle, what are you predicting the score to be, man?
21-14. Dolphins.
21-14. Dolphins. Oh,
I sure would hope I'm wrong. I want to be wrong.
Right.
But I'm at a point now. You're gonna have to show me.
All right. All right. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Real quick.
Yeah.
When you start looking about who's going to make the playoff, Look at the other, like the Eagles and the Vikings, who are over us, who have the tiebreaker. Look at the remaining games. I think you'll agree the Eagles will win that playoff spot. Just so the remaining schedule is so light that it's unreal.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
hey man,
when you get a free chance, look at that. You'll be amazed at how easy of a schedule they got coming up.
it
almost makes you mad.
Yeah, I mean the NFC least. You can't really depend on any one of those teams.
Yeah,
truly, so it'll be fun. Hey, real quick, Candace, what are you thankful for? I want everyone to give us one thing that they're thankful for. It could be anything.
I'm thankful for my family.
I like that. Hey, man, gotta give love to the family, man, especially this time of years. Kevin Boshoven, hey, bro, I'm so pumped for tomorrow, dude. Look, this season for my Clemson Tigers has been so disappointing. But dude, if we
the exact opposite over here.
If we can beat the fucking Gamecocks, bro, I'm gonna be so happy, bro. Dude, I don't want to hear nothing about the Spurs up. My Tigers are about to dominate tomorrow.
I'm already happy with the Gamecocks season. They already passed their double record last year. So like it's been amazing.
Yeah, man, dude, I'm definitely pumped. I'm looking forward to talking some shit online. But Kevin, give me your prediction for this Panthers Dolphins, and then go ahead and give me your prediction for Clemson SC, and then something you're thankful for.
Well, see, I was going to be a dick and just go out with the Carolina Clemson score, but you threw me off now.
Well, hey, that's what Clemson does. We ruin your fun.
I say 23-14 Carolina.
All right.
And for Carolina Clemson, I say 20-16 Carolina.
God, what a disgusting score. Even hearing you say that, I'm like, that game has to suck.
It hurts you because you know it might be true. The way your offense is.
Fuck, dude, I can't even say shit. it might indeed be like that. But what are you thankful for, man?
What am I thankful for? I'm thankful for. Let's see, what's something.
Anything.
I'm going to the game. Atlanta Falcons game.
My buddy bought me
tickets. That's awesome. For my birthday. My birthday is December 12th. I mean, my birthday is December 13th. The game's December 12th. I'm going to the Atlanta game, Carolina.
Good stuff, man.
Hopefully, I'll be thankful, but you never know.
I like that. Justin, let me hear your score for Panthers and Dolphins. Go ahead and give me your Clemson, South Carolina as well, and then give me something you're thankful for, bro.
So I'm gonna run with the score prediction I had last week for the Red Wolves game. I'm gonna say 28-10. Like, if I'm expecting domination, I'm expecting the offense to take another step forward with Cam having that much more time with the team. For the Gamecocks and Tigers game, I'm gonna say 21-14 in favor of the Gamecocks. I think it's gonna be a tight game, and Josh Van is gonna Jason's gonna hit Josh down the field in the second half, and that's going to be the nail for the Tigers. And, I'm going to mention two things that I'm thankful for. First and foremost, I'm thankful for my wife, even though she gets on my damn nerves quite often. This woman,
I like that.
She is easily one of the best things that ever happened to me in my life. So if she happens to watch this, get some brownie points with that comment.
Yeah, I like that.
And the second thing I'm gonna say, I'm thankful for finding, and more so, you guys creating the C3 Panthers podcast, because
you, bro.
I talk enough to feel like I talk a lot. When it comes to football, I absolutely love speaking on it, giving my opinion. You guys gave the fans a platform to come on and talk to other Panther faithful. So yeah, I'm thankful for
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. Love doing it, man.
Can't wait for that sandstorm, can't you, Cody?
Dude, y'all ain't ready for what we about to do tomorrow, man. I'm just telling you, my Tigers. And I don't care how our season. Like, I want to go to the ACC championship game. I need North Carolina to beat NC State right now if we're going to go to the ACC championship game. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but if Clemson can get a W tomorrow, bro, I'm gonna be feeling good about this.
Right, honestly,
this
I'm just hoping for a good game. Because
I'm hoping we destroy y'all.
It has not been good at all.
That's something I want to add. Even if South Carolina loses, if they play them very close,
exactly,
I can live with that because that shows that Beamer is actually instilling a lot of confidence in them kids.
I like him as a head coach. He's been pretty real.
Yep. And last but certainly not least, my man Drew, from all the way up there in Maine, my favorite hunter. Tell me, man, what you thinking for this football game, dude? What's your score prediction for Panthers Dolphins? And then give me something you're thankful for.
All right, I'll make the Panthers prediction short and sweet. 21-17 Carolina. 21-17 Carolina. What I'm thankful for, Justin stole my thunder on this one because first and foremost, my wife Beth, because she gives me the opportunity to come on the C3 podcast and do this free for all, and lets me go hunting too. So I mean, I couldn't thank her enough for letting me do that, and my two little boys. So yeah,
awesome,
thankful for those.
Awesome, man. Love it, love it, love it, man.
I want to add in something too. I'm thankful that my wife is a damn good cook because yesterday for Thanksgiving, like her sister, like the family, they went all out. And the one thing I was looking forward to eating the most was my wife's mashed potatoes. She has made this one time in our entire, like we've been together for 9 years. She made it one time after, I think we were dating for 3 months. And I legitimately asked this woman to make it every other day. Like, can you make the mashed potatoes? No, I don't feel like it. Just wait. 8 years later, I finally get the second helping of mashed potatoes, and I destroyed the damn thing. That was the first thing I went for.
Shout out to the wife's mashed potatoes, bro. Shout out to the wife's mashed potatoes.
That's the way to end the program.
Yeah, for sure. But man, look, I definitely appreciate y'all, man. This has been another edition of the Friday Free for All. We're gonna be back here every Friday at 7 p.m. This is your show to come on and hang out and talk Panther football, man. Yeah, man. I'm gonna go ahead and give my prediction. I'm gonna say the Panthers. I think we're gonna win. I'm gonna say 27-14, man. I think we're gonna win big and have a good performance. I think our defense is gonna bounce back. And you know what I'm thankful for, man? I'm thankful for my health. You know, I mean, I really am, especially this year, man. Like I've lost some loved ones this year. You know, tomorrow is not promised. So, hey, man, wake up every day and live it like it's your last, man, because not everyone can say the same. So I'm just thankful for my life I live, thankful that I'm on the C3 Panthers podcast, get an opportunity to hang out with all of you cool people, man. I'm just thankful. And, of course, I'm thankful for my Carolina Panthers, boy. You already know. So, C3 Faithful, you already know I love you.
What's your prediction for Clemson, Carolina?
Oh, yeah, that's right. How can I not,
He was trying to avoid that one.
Yeah, I called him out on his ass.
Bro, I'm going to say we're going to be, I think it's going to be 42-21, bro. We're going to run all over y'all. We're going to run all over y'all, bro. Will Shipley and Phil Maffa, y'all better remember the names now because they're coming for you, bro. Will Shipley, that's the next Christian McCaffrey.
Y'all better bring your barbecue sauce if Clemson wins that next week.
That's right. That's right, man. Well, y'all, I appreciate you. That's been another edition of the Friday Free for All. Until next Sunday when we do our post-game show right after the game, you already know what it is. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding.
Keep pounding, everybody.
Bruh.